So the idea is
sure.
that you would put her into mainstream school.
So it's a funny one. We were very kind of in two minds about mainstream or special needs school. And as with a lot of things, a lot of decision making, we talk to each other. John and I talk to each other about it, and we might talk to family and friends. But a lot of people are a bit like, don't know. You kind of need to go. That's why we're very lucky we have those professionals. They're the people we go to say, we're not sure what to do here. What do you think? And sometimes they have to. They're not allowed to give their opinion, and they're not allowed to guide you or push you in a direction. But they are able to talk it. They're quite happy to talk it through with you. And actually, if I think back to the conversations I was having with them, they were leading me to putting Lucy in mainstream, but allowing me to make that decision, or John and I to make that decision for ourselves.
Because the question would be, if you put a child in an environment, I'll rephrase it, if you put a child in an environment with similar children with the similar kind of health conditions, would she thrive? Or if she is put in mainstream, is she going to be somewhat provoked developmentally by those other kids who will run faster, and actually will that elevate her and push her forward? And I might be on the side of the latter. I'd be like, actually, if I put her in school, mainstream school, with, she's going to be coming up for 4, developmentally, and I put her in, so she might be 5, but she's in with 4-year-olds. So, but developmentally, they're all about the same parity, the same age. She may then be able to thrive and grow with them and move faster than if you put her in with children with similar conditions. They might hold her back. I don't know, but I'm asking that sort of, it's a difficult one, I think.
Yeah, it is a difficult one. And again, because all children with Down syndrome are different, it's a very individual decision. It's not a one school fits all scenario. So Lucy is a child who likes to copy.
Right.
We have to watch our swearing.
Doesn't every parent? I mean, usually it's the first word is the first words might be like mummy or star or whatever, but sometimes third or fourth might be a swear.
Yeah.
And as much as that can be quite hilarious at times, we have to suppress our laughter because we don't wish to encourage them.
No, it's not ideal. So so she likes to emulate people around her. She likes to build relationships. She likes to make people laugh. She likes to, now she's able to say people's names. She was, able to shout your name quite a lot.
She knows my name, yes.
So, she's a sociable little girl and she likes to copy. So that's kind of where her specialists, her professionals were leading me to mainstream, because they said being around typical children will be good for Lucy, because she'll thrive in that environment, because she'll want to keep up with them. She wants to build relationships with them. She wants to, push herself to be part of those groups. Whereas there are children, that can be very similar to Lucy in a lot of ways, but don't have that interest. And putting them in that environment will actually make them withdraw and be quieter and not enjoy that environment. Therefore, a certain type of special school might be better for that child. And then you have children who just don't sometimes with, I'm sure Caroline and I did discuss this on an earlier episode. Her son Leo has a dual diagnosis with autism, and that means that the interaction with those around them is much less. Therefore, they're better to be in another type of special school where they get a lot more one-to-one, because that's where they thrive, in that kind of one-to-one environment with an adult, as opposed to around other children where they might become overwhelmed or whatever. So, like I say, all children are different. And the great thing is, you might not feel like it when you start thinking about schools, But there are loads of different types of schools that all have very different specialities.
Okay.
So we've picked a mainstream school that is a very SEN-friendly mainstream school.
Okay.
So they have a lot of SEN children already. They have a full-time SEN coordinator who is fabulous. And we are very lucky that we have that on our doorstep. And again, you know, some people have to travel to find those types of schools. But it's worth it because in the long run, it is about finding the right environment for your child, and you do have to put the legwork in that. We did see quite a few different schools in our local area, and that one just shone out for us.
Right.
And it may have not for another parent of another child who has SEN. They may have felt that the type of SEN children they have in their school isn't right, isn't a good fit for their SEN child. It is so personal. And we don't expect Lucy to necessarily stay right through mainstream. But again, we've been told by her professionals, please keep an open mind. Because I'm a bit like, well, she's in a 3-tier system in Newcastle, which is still a very unusual system. Most places in the country now, it's just like junior. Well, I can't remember what they call it nowadays. But for me, it was junior and senior school. Yeah. I don't know what they call it these days. But in Newcastle, we have a specific 3-tier system. So you have a middle school, you have like a junior, a middle and a high school.
Yeah, that's kind of,
that system, didn't you? So I didn't, I just did the two. Well, I did like infants and then juniors and then seniors. So I'm kind of the mindset that Lucy might do the junior and the middle bit, but she might not do the senior bit, which involves GCSEs and stuff.
Right.